So apparently some people want to go into Wildwood completely blind. Not me though. I'm not some people. I'm bored. So today, I'm doing something I almost never do. I'm basically going to try and spoil the entire Wildwood movie before it comes out. If Leica follows the book even remotely closely, what I'm about to tell you is pretty much the whole movie. So if you've somehow clicked on a spoiler video and are still expecting me to protect you from spoilers, that's kind of on you. Before I get right into it, be kind enough to hit the subscribe button because it really means a lot to me. Let's begin. The movie starts with Prue McKeel. Normal girl, normal life. Everything is relatively chill. Then, her baby brother Mac gets kidnapped by a murder of crows. Not one crow, not two crows, but an entire flying criminal organization. These crows take Mac directly into the impassable wilderness. That's Wildwood. It's some giant forbidden forest sitting right outside Portland that everybody knows exists, but nobody really understands. Think Narnia. But if Narnia had labor disputes, political corruption, assassins, and armed woodland animals. So naturally, Prue does the only reasonable thing. She follows them. And because every fantasy story requires a second person to make bad decisions with the protagonist, Curtis tags along. Curtis is basically the most Curtis character ever created. He's awkward, he's nervous, he's trying his best, and he somehow survives things that should absolutely kill him. Once they enter Wildwood, the movie starts throwing world building at you like a machine gun, because Wildwood isn't just one forest. It's divided into territories. You have Southwood, Northwood, and Wildwood itself. Different factions, different leaders, different politics, different armies. Everybody hates somebody, and almost nobody agrees on anything, which is honestly the most realistic fantasy world ever. Now here's where things get interesting. The person responsible for Mac's kidnapping is Alexandra. Alexandra is not some misunderstood villain. She's not morally gray. She's not secretly right. She's not waiting for a redemption arc. She's just dangerous. Alexandra is basically a former governor of Wildwood who got kicked out after becoming obsessed with power. And when I say obsessed, I mean she literally starts building an army because she wants to get back control. The reason she kidnapped Mac is because she believes he has a special connection to Wildwood, and unfortunately for everyone involved, she's right. Meanwhile, Prue gets dragged into the political side of Wildwood because, apparently, rescuing your brother isn't enough. Now she also has to navigate alliances, rebellions, and centuries of magical nonsense. One thing I think the movie will really emphasize is Prue's connection to the forest itself, because throughout the story, she slowly discovers she has abilities that tie her directly to Wildwood. Not superhero powers or anything flashy, just a deeper connection to the land than most people realize, and this becomes increasingly important as the story progresses. Let's unpack Curtis a bit further, because while Prue gets the main quest, Curtis basically gets his own entire side movie. The dude gets separated, captured, dragged all over the place, forced into situations he definitely didn't sign up for, and somehow becomes one of the most important players in the story. There are entire sections of the book where Curtis goes from comic relief to genuinely clutch. If the movie adapts those moments properly, people are going to come out saying Curtis was their favorite character. Now let's get to the stuff everybody actually wants. The war. Because yes, there is a war. Eventually, Alexandra gathers enough forces to launch an assault against the existing powers of Wildwood, and what starts as a rescue mission slowly turns into a full-scale conflict. Animal armies, forest battles, political betrayals, secret alliances, everything. The reason I think audiences are going to be surprised is because the story becomes much bigger than girl saves kidnapped brother. That's just like the entry point. By the second half, you're watching an entire world fighting over who gets to control its future, and Prue accidentally ends up right in the middle of it. Now let's talk about the ending without dancing around it. Alexandra loses. The rebellion against the existing order ultimately fails. Mac is rescued. Prue completes her journey. The immediate crisis is resolved. But the ending doesn't really feel like an ending. It's gonna feel like the first chapter of something much larger, because Wildwood leaves a ton of doors open. Questions about Prue, questions about Wildwood itself, questions about the future of the forest, questions about the balance of power, and so on. If the movie succeeds, audiences are absolutely going to start asking those same questions. So my best guess is that the biggest change from book to movie won't be the major plot points. I think it'll be the pacing. The book spends a lot of time exploring the world. The movie is probably going to streamline things and focus heavily on Prue, Mac, Alexandra, and the central conflict, so I'd be shocked if the major story beats change dramatically. They're too important, and basically the foundation of everything. So there you have it. Congratulations! You now know that this movie starts with birds committing a felony and ends with a failed dictatorship. I want to hear your thoughts though, so feel free to drop your predictions below after leaving a like. Would be cool to see who's also paying attention before the movie arrives. Until next time, stay cool.